Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for being here on time. Because yeah, with the good engineers, we are starting exactly as we planned. And sorry, you have some click. Okay, so we are already live online at our streaming at our YouTube, and. Seems we are alive here as well. I see you have all a lot of energy, and we are sure we are going to see a great performance from 10 people that will share their passion for science in a moment. Before this, let me warmly welcome our jury that will judge your performance. And so in first place, we have here our Vice President of Warsaw University of Technology for research, Professor Mariusz Malinowski. Because this competition is partially financed by IDUB, I warmly welcome Professor Wojciech Wróbel, who in IDUB is responsible for PhD affairs. And because it's a competition for PhD students, I'm also warmly welcome Professor Aneta Podbudkowska-Mirecka, head of PhD school. But because it's science communication competition, last but not least, I welcome our previous student Radosław Brzuska, famous science communicator. And at this moment, I would like also to thank to the whole team that is maybe not in the front row, but there are many people around behind the cameras or sitting somewhere around. So all the team from the doctoral school and from IDUB and from Bureau of Communication, thank you for your work. So we can now begin. I would ask our Vice President for Research to give a few words, opening words.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm really glad that I'm here. So I guess, I see that the timer is not still on, so I have more time than 3 minutes. However, I will try to do the best to be below the 3 minutes of my speech. First, my thought is that I'm really glad that we organize again this event. I have some of the memories from the last year that it was a very, very successful, and also the people who won during the last competition, he also very well represent our university outside. So this is my first thought. The second, congratulations that finally you decided to come here and to make a part of this competition. So thank you that you are brave enough. Thank you that you would like to show something which is not easy in 3 minutes to present some of the most important outcomes of your research and also some of the important, scientific issue which you have to present for us and to convince the committee during the 3 minutes. And the third one is really, I would like to thank all organizers, because in behind, you never know how it's a lot of work behind of this event. Of course, it's nice to be here, nice to give this speech on the stage, but there are many of people working there many weeks to prepare this event to be, very successful today. So thank you very much. I hope that I'm below than 3 minutes. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you by focusing on the rules that we have now. Let me just reiterate that our 10 finalists are going to present no longer than 3 minutes. So there is a time display here. So I will read for you your affiliation title, so you don't need to waste time on this. When I click, you have 3 minutes. Then we have a discussion with jury, and meanwhile you are entitled to have your own one slide. Everything is here. Okay, I think all of this is clear, and our jury is going to judge you. But to all the people that are watching, there is also a publicity audience award. So at the end, we are going to display QR code, so you all can vote for the special for the audience prize. Okay, and as Professor Malinowski mentioned, people who succeed here gain some valuable skills, and we are proud that they kept representing our university even further. And don't think I'm going to stress you or I'm going to put a bar pretty high, but I think some of you already know that what I'm going to say, right? That 3-minute thesis is one of the science communication competition. That one is specially dedicated to PhD students. But there are also other competitions like FameLab competition. And in a national FameLab competition this year, Natalia Izdebska from Faculty of Chemistry, who won the previous 3-minute thesis in 2024, won. And 2 days ago, she received the audience prize in international competition. So you see, yeah, we believe in you, we are proud of you, and Natalia set for you standards very high, so good luck. Now, without further ado, we can start. So please warmly welcome Hussein Ahmed Badawi from Faculty of Power and Aeronautical Engineering. The presentation title is Image-Based UAV Localization for Search and Rescue in GPS-Denied Environments. So this is for you. Okay. Ready?
Maciej Berbeka, a mountain climber. In 1988, he believed that he reached the summit of the broad peak mountain. But later he learned the truth that he had stopped only 17 meters below the summit. His journey was incomplete. But in 2013, at the age of 58, he returned to finish what he started, and he reached the summit. Dear contest chair, my research is about helping drones navigate their way when GPS stops working. Think of how we use Google Maps. They help us navigate, but only if we have signals. But imagine hiking the mountains and suddenly using signals. The map is gone, and you don't know where you are. The same happens to drones. They lose GPS, and they get lost. I use artificial intelligence and computer vision techniques to teach drones to navigate by seeing, not by signals, using what they see. Same as humans do. We recognize where we are just by looking around. They capture image from above, and they compare to the reference map, and then they determine their geographic coordinates based on image matching without GPS. They don't only look for visual landmarks, but the novelty of the research is they analyze the terrain pattern, elevation, contours, lines, and features that are invisible to the human eye. And this brings me back to Maciej Berbeka, who determined to continue his journey. Similarly, I want drones to keep going, to never stop searching, to find people in need faster because every second counts, and come back home, even without signals. Except that Maciej never back home. Berbeka never come back home. He reached the summit, but he never reached home. He was lost in the mountains, declared missing and dead, very close to the summit. If drones were used in search and rescue back then, perhaps Maciej would have back home to his family, not only with a new record from the mountain peak, but with his life. With his life. I do research to make sure everyone returns home. Dear contest chair, fellow researchers, thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation, and I open the discussion. Maybe who was lost in the mountain starts? Raul?
Oh. Is it working?
Thank you for your presentation. It was very nice. Actually, I do paragliding. I fly over Himalayas, and some of my friends have actually crashed and died. And the rescue in India or Nepal is really troublesome. But I was wondering how prone to changes in the weather your system is. You said that you're looking for some distinct features, also some things that are invisible to human eye. So if the snow cover is there and it wasn't there a few days before, is it prone to that? That's the first question. And the second, and I think obvious question is, could it be used in any military applications?
Yeah, thanks. For the first question, that's actually the gap in the literature review, which is seasonal changes. So my research is going to fill the gaps because I'm not looking for visual features that could be covered by snow, but actually I'm looking for the topographic feature of the ground, which is fixed all over the seasons. It's not going to change. The contours line, the elevation, variation, whether it's snow or summer, winter, it's all the time there. So it's more robust when it comes to seasonal changes. The second question about, so the algorithms could be upscaled to military, to monitoring, to filming industry, to all industry that can benefit from drones that operate in GPS denied environment. Even could be upscaled to the deep space over Mars or Moon, because that's actually one of the initiatives by NASA to operate without GPS in deep space. Thank you. Thanks.
Any other questions from the jury? Okay, so just one comment.
Yeah.
Your initial slide, actually your first picture, there is a mistake there. Where am I? And instead of where I'm. So remember that your opening slide or opening picture shouldn't contain any mistakes. That's a big and important thing.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, hoping we all return safely home. Now I would invite Daria Brun from Faculty of Management to join me on stage. And how the factories learn to speak your name. That's the title of the presentation.
Hello. Imagine buying shoes that fit not only your size, but also your personality. The color, the shape, even a quote on a sole, everything the way you want it. Sounds like luxury? Not anymore. This is mass customization, combining mass production with personal individuality. But how can a factory built to produce many of identical items now to speak each of us by name? The concept has been around for over 30 years, when companies dream of producing customized product at scale. The dream was there, but the technology wasn't. Now, at the age of Industry 4.0, that's changing. With artificial intelligence, 3D printing, and Internet of Things, mass customization has been reborn. But get what? There is a problem. Companies want mass customization, but only a few actually make it work. The problem is simple. It requires deep changes that must work together. And right now, companies do not have a clear way to achieve it. So here I am. I am building model, a universal model, something like framework and roadmap to give companies the tool to implement mass customization successfully, to give an answer to questions. Which capabilities, organizational and technical, to develop first? How teams and technology can work together, and how measure the readiness before investing in change. Give a practical tool for companies to implement mass customization successfully. And what for customers? For customer is even something more powerful. Products reflect who they are, delivered quickly and at fair price. Why this is so important? It's not only about cool sneakers. It's transform medicine with custom implants, for sustainability, with long-lasting products, and for industry that make production smarter. Because future is no longer mass-produced, the future is personal, the future is yours. Thank you.
Perfect. No, it was okay. So, some personalized questions, please.
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. My question is related, of course, this customized product. It's a very nice issue, very nice idea, but how it looks in case of because why it's massive production, because of the price. And if we have the similar products, then it means that we save also the energy. So how it will look in customized product in case of the energy efficiency? Yeah.
Okay, so about the price, yes. We know that the mass products are cheaper, yes, but when we have a craft production, the cost is very high. But in mass customization, we have the price a little bit higher than in mass production. I check it in the articles and when I are doing the state of art, and it's around about the 20% higher. 20. It depends on the industry and the sector, yes?
But the costs, but also how to saving the energy also, because if you have the massive production, I think it's also you saving the energy. If you have some of the customized products, it demands a much bigger effort from the energy efficiency point of view.
Yes, I think it's a good idea to include this question to my research also, because for now I don't look at the energy.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. I've got one question and one comment.
Yeah.
I'll start with the comment. I was confused a little bit when you started talking about the medical products like prosthesis. You mentioned
about
them?
the implants?
Yeah,
yes.
the implants. So I thought they are customized right now. So this is something new, that it's not customized but mass-produced. I would throw it out of your presentation because it's confusing for the audience. And the other question is, have you consulted your idea with the industry? Have you visited like 2 or 3 factories and asked the management, not read the books, but ask the actual management?
Yes, of course. I was in the industry which product is the eyeglasses lenses, yes. And in the future, in the maybe 1 or 2 months, I go to the factories for the automotive industry. Yes.
Good luck then.
Thank you.
And now, very much. And now I would invite Emeka Chijoke from Faculty of Power and Aeronautical Engineering to deliver the speech, Making Electric Drones Fly Longer with Smarter Control and Cleaner Missions.
During a drone competition, my science club team and I flew an electric aircraft over a simulated chemical contaminated airport. The mission was to release light beacons to mark the danger zone for firefighters. We had to plan 2 flights. Halfway through, we replaced the battery. Not because of a failure, but because we knew the power wouldn't last long for the whole mission. That moment made me realize how crucial energy optimization is in UAV operations. And that became the question and focus of my research. How can we make electric UAVs fly longer using the same battery power? Electric UAVs, especially helicopters, have a serious limitation: endurance. The more they spend time climbing, hovering, changing direction, the more energy they consume. Once the battery drains, the mission ends, whether the job is done or not. So the challenge isn't just battery size. It is how efficiently the UAV uses energy during flight. So my research focuses on optimizing the energy consumption of an electric-powered unmanned helicopter. To do that, I analyzed two main factors: the rotor speed and flight path. I studied how they interact to influence the energy use. Instead of keeping constant the rotor speed, I designed a control model that adjusts the rotor speed dynamically depending on whether the helicopter is cruising or landing. And at the same time, I developed a smoother path that avoids unnecessary climbs and sharp turns. In simple terms, the helicopter learns when to speed up, when to slow down, move smarter, not harder. With MATLAB Simulink, with models that replicate real helicopter dynamics, I tested different combinations of rotor speeds and flight paths, and the results were clear. I achieved 20% energy savings. That translates to 25% more flight time. Now, these are simulation results, and you might wonder if it works. This is my next step. We have an actual electric UAV helicopter developed in our department, ready for flight test. And with installed sensors, we will measure its power use, and I'll compare it with my simulation results. So these improvements may sound technical, but the impacts are very real. In fields like environmental monitoring, disaster management, and rescue operations, every extra minute of flight can make a difference. So long endurance means extra time to deliver aids or help the firefighters. And because the aircraft uses energy efficiently, we will have cleaner and more sustainable missions. So, long endurance, greener missions, real impact. Thank you.
Okay, I can start. So thank you very much for this energy in the presentation. I think that generally the comment it will be. I think that the rotor speed optimization it's quite well developed and researched. So it will be more difficult to find new issues. But I like very much this flight path optimization. But my question is, if you make this comparison, to make the comparison for some of the case studies, some of the scenario, how you did this, because it looks nice generally, plus 20% the energy savings. But when we should consider a different scenario of the flights. Yeah. And the question, how you select this for the comparison. In one case can be 1%, in another can be maybe 25%. And probably you select some of the case. So how you did it?
Yeah, so some literature, some papers do focus either on the rotor speed or flight path. I decided to combine these two strategies together because of their interaction effect that help to reduce overconsumption during climbs and hover. So what I did was to specify my flight path. So I studied the hover, the climb, the cruise, and landing. And altering the rotor speed and flight path together helped to achieve minimum energy consumption without compromising lift. Right, so the flight path, the parameters that influence the flight path are the climb rate, the rotor speed, the altitude. So I adjusted the rotor speed and the flight path parameters. And combining these two strategies helped to achieve this 20% energy savings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So to clear it up, it was tested in real life scenarios, not just in simulations, in simulated conditions, but in real life.
So I'm involved in competitions, and based on the experiences that we have obtained, I had to focus on analyzing the rotor speed and flight path interaction. So this is strictly simulation based, right? And but the MATLAB software simulink that I've used includes equation of motions, drag, lift, and rotor speed dynamics, real world information. So adjusting the rotor speed and flight path helps to minimize the energy consumption, especially during climbs and hover. So this is strictly simulation based. But we have an electric UAV helicopter developed in our department, ready for flight test. And with installed sensors, I will measure its power use, and I will compare it with my simulation results. And these results are very promising.
Just quick, do you expect it to be dependent on the type of drone, size, type of the engine, and so on?
So this will be specifically for UAV electric aircrafts. So this 20% energy savings would translate proportionally to longer mission. So you can implement this in UAVs to make the missions more energy efficient. So it's not specifically on one particular type of UAV. So I can implement this optimization maybe in environmental agencies, the logistics industries. Imagine implementing 20% energy savings in all their fleets. That will go a long way in improving their operations and services efficiency, especially during critical conditions.
Sounds good, but time is running, as the energy in the drone sometimes, so thank you very much. Thank you. And now Aleksandra Godlewska from Faculty of Chemistry will tell us about breaking barriers in antimicrobial resistance, understanding mechanisms of action behind membrane targeting antimicrobials. You know what's written. Okay, ready? So, good luck.
Have you ever taken an antibiotic? They are one of the most important drugs that we have. But did you know that if you don't follow your doctor's orders or what's written on the packaging, you could be contributing to one of the most critical issues in public health today, which is antibiotic resistance. We've relied on antibiotics for nearly a century, but bacteria are clever. They adapt, evolve, and find new ways to defend themselves. As resistance rises, our treatments fail. We are running out of options. And we don't really have a lot of new options. Most pharmaceutical companies aren't really interested in developing new antibiotics. So to fight back, us, chemists, researchers, are looking for new types of antimicrobials, ones that attack bacteria in different ways. One promising strategy is to target the bacterial cell membrane, the thin protective barrier that keeps it alive. And this isn't just a theory. There already are drugs that work this way. Traditional antibiotics are like keys that fit specific locks inside of the bacteria. But bacteria can change the locks and the keys stop working. Membrane-targeting antimicrobials don't bother with locks at all. They just go straight for the door. But here's the catch. Doors can be reinforced too. Resistance can still develop. It often stems from changes in the bacterial membrane composition. It can become more rigid or less negatively charged, enriched in a certain type of compound, and that can completely change how an antimicrobial interacts with it. And that's also where my research comes in. I study how membrane compositions affect the activity of membrane-targeting antimicrobials. By using model membranes, lipid extracts, or even whole bacteria, I look at how these types of compounds behave in different lipid environments. So do they cause the bacteria to just burst or maybe stay on the surface of it? By uncovering these patterns, I aim to better understand the principles behind these interactions. That knowledge can help us design smarter antimicrobials, ones that hit harmful bacteria precisely while sparing the beneficial ones and human cells. Antibiotic resistance is a global challenge. but by looking closer, right down to the molecular details of the bacterial membrane, we can find the key to the next generation of antimicrobials and tip the scales in our favor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So who was last time on antibiotics starts?
Okay, thank you so much. I have the question about the physical chemical properties, the microbial agents, and you've said the selectivity, okay?
This is always the biggest challenge because as the activity is high, the toxicity is also usually quite high. So it's always looking for the balance between them. The agents that we are mostly looking at and working with, they are polycations. So we are hoping that the electrostatic interactions between, like the differences in charge between bacterial cells and mammalian cells are kind of pushing it towards some kind of selectivity towards bacteria, because bacteria are more negatively charged than our cells. But
then sometimes the solubility, the low solubility is the problem, yeah? Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
So first of all, thank you for your presentation. It was really good. I love the way you pictured the background, the history, and the problem that we have. We clearly know what we're fighting against, and that was very good. I like the examples, picking the lock and reinforcing the door. It was also very interesting. The very one thing I lack, it was that, you know, bright light at the end, that we're reaching some point where we will actually be able to pick all the locks or go through all the reinforced doors. So you said I'm investigating that issue, but what was lacking was saying what actually you have found out or what you've achieved. But the problem is clear after your presentation, and I guess that everyone who's misusing antibiotics now knows how important it is to use them wisely. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. And we're almost halfway through with Dawid Kozierowski from Faculty of Electronics and Information Technology. Take your time. Development of and validation of multifaceted context and semantic-aware detection methodology for personalized social engineering attacks with a focus on AI-generated attacks is necessary to significantly enhance the effectiveness of contemporary cybersecurity over time. So I saved you this time. This is your start slide and...
Hello, my name is David. And you know what I do for a living? I hack people. Well, ethically, of course. I work in offensive cybersecurity, but my research goes beyond systems. It's all about trust. It's all about people and how attackers manipulate them using personalized social engineering attacks. There was a case. Imagine that. A voice-cloned attacker, which knows your voice, knows where you work, knows your habits, knows your projects, calls you and says, "This file is very urgent, please send it to me right now." Or using your own boss's voice tells you that he has been robbed and you need to send the money transfer right now. Would you fall for it? If the answer is yes, I'm not surprised. Is it easy? Is it even possible? Is it a threat? Yes, yes, and yes. Another story, real case, Hong Kong. There was a meeting on a Teams where the only living person on that meeting was the victim. All three were powered by AI, voice-cloned, deep-faked avatars. Conclusion, more than $20 million lost by the company. And cybersecurity is not all about those fancy firewalls and codes. It's all about technology, about process, and about people. And how people fall into these attacks. What I'm doing, actually, you may ask, I analyze those attacks, taking factors like behavior, semantics, context, natural language processing into consideration, just to understand why people fall for them. To keep it simple, Just to let you know, so you won't click on that phishing link again to infect your computer. Phishing, vishing, on-site contact attacks, they all have one thing in common. They are extremely dangerous, extremely effective, and to be honest, not so easy to deploy. No, they are very easy to deploy. So what can we do? One advice for me, think before you act. Because in the end, in cybersecurity field, my research is quite unique. The impact, imagine critical infrastructure attacked by a group of hackers, and then hospitals, all lives matter. So in the end, my research is very important, because if you can't detect the attack, how can you possibly prevent it? And you know what? That's what I hack. Thank you.
Thank you. So, who clicked the link in the email? Stats? Okay, fortunately. So, yeah, Rad.
No, please, you first.
Okay, could you use a zip for zipping your title so that it's shorter and more clear? Because it's like half of your presentation. Why? Why is it so long?
Actually, I didn't put any title, so that's why I think the organizers put it so long. But I'm not my fault. Sorry, I didn't click that link. Yeah. Yeah, detecting and mitigating personally social engineering attacks, for short.
Okay, so are you creating a tool which analyzes a message and sets like a score, saying in a score from 1 to 5, I say it's almost 5, which means 100% that it's an attack? Is that what you're doing, developing the tool, or just analyzing behaviors and looking for patterns?
Both, I think. So I run simulations in controlled environment, but not targeting bots, targeting real people, because I work in offensive cybersecurity as a pen tester. I'm actually calling people. I'm actually creating all those phishing emails and then analyze them. And at the end, I can see who clicked, who put some credentials into fake login page, and then I'm trying to understand why. Is it just the emotion? Is it the urgency? Is it something you need to do right now? Or maybe I am a new worker in your company and I'm pretending someone I'm not and trying to manipulate you. Taking phishing attacks, voice phishing attacks, and face-to-face on-site contact attacks into consideration. That's what I'm analyzing and doing in the real threat simulations.
Thank you very much. It was a very good presentation. However, I think a lot of energy, by the way, it's very nice.
Thank you.
But I understand why was the previous question. The previous question was because I think that this is a comment maybe will help you in the future. You spend too much time to telling about the background, but less time telling what are you going to do as a part of your thesis. So I think that this balance should be a little bit different. But my question is, you demand in your research, I think it's a very interdisciplinary field. So how will looks your collaboration with different fields? Because it's not only IT, it's not only cybersecurity, but also, as you told, you also touch the emotion and other, issues. So how are you going to do?
Yeah, I need to be a bridge between IT and the other disciplines. So, for example, when I'm trying to analyze the emotion, for example, urgency, yeah, how does it impact these attacks? So, I have one thing that I'm very, very happy of. I'm working in the industry that touches technical stuff, and also I can analyze some attacks right after they finish, after creating this report. So actually, I'm a one-man army. I would like to say that I'm analyzing those attacks in the point of view of an engineer, technical way, and even in a psychological way. So taking all that into consideration, I think that talking to people, would you fall for that? That's what I'm asking. And those kinds of interviews can help me understand out of my sight things that I'm not thinking like an attacker. I'm thinking not like a pen tester, but like a victim. So I think that that's very important.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much. And thank you. So yeah, it's a good moment to say that when we are going to have the public vote, you don't need to pay, don't click anything, just scan the code. It's anonymous and free of charge. And now Monika Łazor from Faculty of Chemistry will tell us about cobalt-free protective coating for solid oxide cell stacks as a step towards a greener energy future.
Do you like to paint? I do, and also I can paint with electricity. In my research, I used an electric field to paint tiny powder particles onto metal surfaces. It sounds unusual, almost like science fiction, but this simple idea could help shape the future of green energy technologies. And today, that matters more than ever, because our need for energy keeps growing. Yet behind our normal daily energy consumption is a hidden world of materials we hardly ever think about. Materials that make our modern life possible, but sometimes at a very high cost. One of them is cobalt. Cobalt is valuable because it makes materials strong, stable, and conductive, so perfect for energy devices. But there is a dark side to it. Over 70% of the world's cobalt comes from the Democratic Republic of Congo, mined under dangerous conditions with pollutions and even child labor. So when we talk about the green energy, its foundation is not always clean. And this is where my research begins. I work on materials for devices called solid oxide cell stacks. Think of them as the engines for green energy future. But like any engine, they have some weak spots. One of them is the interconnect, a metal plate that carries energy between cells in the stack. It's a bit like the engines in an internal highway, guiding the air and the fuel to the right places. But when it gets too hot, the interconnect starts to bleed harmful chromium compounds that damage the stack. And to avoid it, the scientists cover the interconnects by a thin protective layer, a kind of the armor. And for years, that armor contained mostly cobalt. And that brings us back to the beginning and to an important question. Shouldn't the green energy start with also green materials? And that's why I'm creating the cobalt-free protective coatings. I apply them using a method I like to call painting with electricity. And by carefully adjusting the paint composition and the painting parameters, I can design such coatings that do exactly what we need. They block the chromium, they conduct electricity, and they survive the heat. But they do something more. They bring solid oxide cell technology a step closer to a cleaner and more efficient energy future, because building a greener future starts at the small scale with smarter materials and more sustainable solutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And questions?
Thank you for the presentation. It was really interesting. And I was waiting for you to reference the painting with electricity. I was afraid you would only talk about it at the beginning, but then you went back, which was absolutely wonderful. And from the title that you gave to your presentation, Cobalt-Free Protective Coatings, you've said, you've talked about cobalt and cobalt-free, why it's important, about the coatings. I understand that. I don't understand what solid oxide cell is, so you expect us to know what it is, whether it's a battery that it's in my phone or any other battery. I don't know it from your presentation, and I would focus on that. But the rest was really good. I enjoyed listening to it. How positive you are that the technology you're working on will actually make it more green technology.
Yes, okay. Thank you for your comment. Of course, I had only 3 minutes, so it was to...
Just in one sentence, the solid oxide cell.
Actually,
is
you have 7 seconds
Yeah.
left.
So,
So-
is it a battery in my phone? Is it
Okay,
the solid?
No.
Okay.
Solid oxide cells, I can explain what it is. It's the part of the stack. It's the planar ceramic thing that can work in two variable modes. As the fuel cell, then we can produce electrical energy from the hydrogen, for example, or in the electrolysis mode. Then we, from the water, produce the fuel such as hydrogen. And this is
You should, you know, think of a single sentence, very short one that will just explain. So those are cells used in industry or chemical plants or electrical power plants, whatever. Just to say, to differentiate them from the batteries or the battery cells we're using in our phones and other equipment. But that's the only comment.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much then.
Thank you.
And moving away from Congo to Faculty of Power Engineering and Aeronautical Engineering again, Natalia Mikos-Nuszkiewicz, tempting but complex, the quest for long-term and compact heat storage.
When you think about energy, you probably imagine electricity. But the real energy demand European homes isn't for electricity, it's for heat. Almost 80% of energy used at homes goes just to keep us warm. And we need it most in winter, when renewables, like the sun, give us the least. Today, there are only few ways to store heat. You can keep it in water or in the ground. Very easy. But you need a lot of space, and over time, this heat just fades away. You can also generate heat from electricity, stored in batteries. But those depend on rare materials, cost a lot, and leave toxic waste behind. Now, imagine something different. Capturing summer heat and releasing it in the middle of the winter. Storing it for months, almost without losses and with no recycling challenges. That's the idea behind thermochemical heat storage. It's compact, long-lasting, and can hold energy safely for months with no installation. But how does it actually work? You take a special thermochemical material that, when heated, undergoes a reversible chemical reaction and splits into two components. Those components can be stored separately until heat is needed. When they are brought back together, the reaction reverses and the stored energy is released. And what about this material? It's nothing exotic. For example, salt that can take in and release water molecules, such as potassium carbonate, commonly used in soap production or glass manufacturing. When I first heard about it, it sounded almost perfect. But when I started working on it, I discovered how complex it really is. The reaction depends on temperature, pressure, humidity, chemical and physical properties of the material. Change one of those, and everything shifts. How fast the reaction goes, how much heat it can store, and how efficiently it gives that heat back. Building and testing prototypes takes time and, of course, money, so instead my work focuses on modeling. I built a computational model of the system to see how it behaves, test different parameters, and find factors that matter the most for the final use. Thermochemical heat storage has huge potential, but only if we truly understand the chemistry and physics behind it. And that's what my research helps to do. Because in the end, the progress in energy technology may not lie in generating more and more energy, but in learning how not to lose it. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So,
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. My question is following. I need a little bit more light for the following expression. Long term, the compact, as well as my third short question is heat storage. It can be exchanged for the cooling, also the cool storage. Because I think what you are completely right that when you are talking about the energy, the first thought it's about the electrical energy, especially me. Then that we need much more energy for heating instead of the electrical purposes. That is true. But I think that the time has changed, and now we need more energy for cooling instead of the heating. So the question is if you thought also about that. So long-term, compact, and heat storage.
Long term means seasonal, for example, so we can, charge the storage during summer and just keep it for months, and then just go back to it in winter and release this energy. Yes. So, for example, now we are using hot water tanks to store heat. We are just heating the water in the tank, but over time, just, you have insulation, but you can't keep this water hot for months. Yeah. Next one was compact. Okay, so
why you call compact?
Compact because theoretically, an amount of energy that we can store you will need 1/10, for example.
If you compare to some another solution.
Yeah. So, for example, when you store in water, then if you store in this thermochemical material, you need like 1/10 of volume. It's something like this. Yeah. Yeah. And the next one was.
And then was about the cooling.
Cooling. Yeah. So you can use it for cooling also. Yeah. I mean, use this energy for like you can use, for example, heat pump for both cooling and for heating and for cooling, and you can connect this storage to a heat pump, and yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So thank you once again for your presentation. I do agree with the questions that were asked just before. You need to address the title of your presentation, not leaving anything behind, so that anyone who listens to your presentation needs to understand every single word that is there in the title. But I wanted to say that you started your presentation perfectly by presenting the statistics. That was really good. Then I thought I will ask you the question, if that's so wonderful, why isn't that problem solved, or why isn't it being used? And you answered that question, and that was really good, because now you've thrown the weapon out of my hands. And the last thing was that you answer the question what you want to achieve in your research. So I really liked the way you created the narrative. For me, it was self-explanatory with the small details, so I really liked it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, so it wasn't a question.
Yeah, it was a comment. Yeah, basically, yeah.
So it seems that's it. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm wondering how much heat do we generate here with our brains. I see
60 watts per head.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so a lot. And now let's invite Adriana Piasek from Faculty of Chemistry, unlocking the cosmetic potential of spent coffee grounds.
You wake up in the morning, and what is the first thing you think about? It's probably a cup of coffee, right? Imagine that, taking just one sip and throwing the rest away. It feels like such a waste, doesn't it? And it's exactly what happened every time with coffee, because during the brewing process, we use only 10% of its potential. The rest is thrown away. It makes coffee the most underutilized food product and the 5th most intensive food emitter. Every year, we generate 12 million tons of spent coffee grounds, which ends up landfills or is burned, emits greenhouse gases, and causes soil acidification. I decided to change that during my implementation PhD. I am a research lead at Ecobin, a circular economy startup which developed the technology for full valorization of spent coffee grounds, because coffee waste has so much more to offer. It contains cellulose, hemicellulose, lignin, oil, and most importantly for my work, polyphenols and caffeine, which makes coffee one of the richest natural sources of antioxidants. I've dedicated 4 years of my PhD to those amazing compounds which can neutralize free radicals. In our body, free radicals can accelerate skin aging and cause some diseases like cancer, whereas antioxidants open new possibilities for skincare or cancer
treatment and prevention. During my PhD, I developed the technology process to obtain these valuable active compounds from spent coffee grounds to use in cosmetic industry and confirm its properties by cell culture research. Those circular antioxidants show amazing effect on skin cells. They can boost collagen production and speed up cell regeneration. This is the proof that cosmetic industry, with still growing, fast-growing demand for natural cosmetics, now can be enriched with those powerful ingredients which are made from, well, waste instead of primary resources. This is the proof that circular economy boosted by science is a big step, and in that case my focus is my science focus is on business implementation. Thanks to my PhD, I had the opportunity to conduct fascinating research on spent coffee grounds which can change the way we think about waste and make our world a better place to live. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. After listening to your presentation, I think about changing my cosmetics space and body cosmetics. And I have the questions about the concentration, the caffeine and phenols in the coffee grades. Yeah, if you said about the effect project.
Of course, it's the last part and the smallest part of the whole everything which is still in spent coffee grounds after the brewing process, but it's still thanks to my company and startup where we develop the process of full valorization. It is still economical good and promising, because we extract plenty of these compounds in one technological continuous process. So my study was only part of this big process, and when we add every step, is really financial optimistic.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I think that I have a very high involvement to production of this coffee grants.
Like all of us, yeah. I think.
But I think that you convinced me to even produce more. But my question is, if the main purpose of those cosmetics, it's only for beauty or for healthy also?
Okay.
No, it can be, there's antioxidants, so.
And gluten free.
So maybe have also some of the, bad side effect, which is the, if a good side effect, also in case of the healthy issues.
It depends how we use them, because if it is in cosmetic, we put it on our skin, so it's mainly to be beauty, but I am PI of another project where I'm checking the caffeine from this extract and the other compounds which are extracted from this extract. I know it's complicated, on skin cancer cells.
Yeah, this is
so, and I am promising results. So I think in the future we could put it on our skin not only for beauty, but to health too.
You exactly touch what was in behind of my question. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and I know that now we are all thinking about the coffee, but still 2 presentations before the coffee break, so be patient. And welcome Antoni Wadowski from Faculty of Material Science and Engineering with the presentation Machine Learning Potential for Metallic Glasses.
Thank you. The previous year, Nobel Prize in Physics was for the breakthroughs in machine learning. What does it mean for materials research? To simulate materials, we need to know how atoms interact with each other, how they push and pull. Those rules are called interatomic potentials. If we know them, we can predict the material's properties and we can understand them. But believe me, to get to know these rules is extremely difficult. Nowadays, we use ChatGPT to get the rules for grammar, for writing great stories, and fortunately for us, we can use similar machine learning-based models to get the rules for interatomic potentials. Those methods were trained on millions of data, so when they see the next example, they immediately know the answer. They are very fast. But those methods require huge data to train on. Moreover, a lot of materials that surround us, like the glasses at our windows or the screens at our phones, are disordered, such as the metallic glasses, the extremely promising materials that I investigate. So here's the question: how to create the database of disordered atomic structures? So here is what I did for a real copper zirconium aluminum system. Firstly, you need to understand, this is very important message, that the disorder has its own rules. You cannot sample randomly, then you get overlaps and receive non-physical junk missing the real patterns. So I use the simplest rules of atomic interactions to roughly estimate the atomic positions. Later, I fine-tune them using sophisticated computational tools. I use this data and machine learning to get to know the rules of atomic interactions. In effect, I received a model that is practical because it matches the properties of materials that we see in real laboratories. Moreover, it's much faster than best-in-class accuracy methods. So here's the take-home message. Disorder is not random. Respect those rules when creating the data for machine learning and uncover the interactions between atoms. Use this approach and see the amazing properties of materials that surround us. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Who used ChatGPT lately?
I'm happy to take questions.
Am I understanding that you are developing a new method of understanding the structure of chaotic materials, chaotic in sense of their structure?
So this kind of utilizing machine learning in atomic scale simulation, because this is what we do, we simulate in atomic scale, is a very novel approach. Previously, I mentioned the sophisticated computational tools. Those kind of methods are really, really computationally expensive. I ran those simulations for weeks, and this approach combines the data from those accurate tools with the machine learning. So I train on this accurate data, and then using this workflow, I can predict the material properties. So the tools I use are not developed by me, but the interconnection of them, of those different scales and ways to basically model materials is mine.
So, and the accuracy that you gain, the 90%, is compared to the, let's say, traditional computational methods?
Oh, very good that you mentioned this. The accuracy of 90% is the accuracy of my model versus the target, which is the real material. So the advantage of my approach is that it's based on computer simulations purely. You do not need any experimental data. And nowadays, we have a huge gap, because if you see the periodic table of elements, you have like so many of them, and the number of combinations is so large that without the computational tools, you cannot basically scan and find those promising materials that are there in laboratory. So my approach is to scan millions of combinations and then provide them to the experimental people that will search just for 10 or even 100. That's already a big step.
So for the users you're developing it for, 90% is enough, is more than enough?
I would say so, yes.
Okay,
because having this interaction, having this information, you already know where to go. So I would say this is very good for a model that didn't see the experimental data at all.
So the one comment I have is that I think it's a great technology, the great thing you're working on. I would still work on communicating it better to people who do not clearly understand the basis of what you're doing, because there's a great story behind it, the story I love, but I feel the lack of communication here. I could help you on developing the ways of saying it better, talking about it better.
I would happily hear your comments.
Yeah.
Thank you for the comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How many engineers can we fire for for doing the manual work if we do the tests on behalf of them? Now, last but not least, Emilia Wdowiak from Faculty of Mechatronics, development of wide field of view lenses, lensless holographic microscope.
That's the crucial thing.
Okay, so
take the first thing that comes to your mind when thinking about any microscope. Just a simple one. What we need? We obviously need light, then a sample to check, then a microscope objective, and some detector, whether it's our eyes or camera. So what if we throw out completely the microscope objective? Could we still call it a microscope? Studying biological samples is very challenging for many reasons, but one of them is that classical microscopy that allows to see those samples is very complicated. It's extremely expensive, very hard to be coped by people that are non-technical. Those systems provide us with very nice resolution, but then we can see this resolution in very limited field of view. So, believe me or not, we can throw out the microscope objective completely. And microscope objective is basically a stack of lenses. So, we can still, without those lenses, overcome many of the limitations of classical microscopy. And the solution is called lensless microscopy. And this is the lensless microscopy is the part of my PhD research, and I perform it experimentally. I develop it experimentally. So we obviously need light, then a sample, and a detector. And on the camera, we captured, this is what we call hologram, which resembles in shape our structure. However, it's completely out of focus. Therefore, we have to apply some numerical algorithms to come back to the focal plane, and this is what we call reconstruction. Since we are not using the magnification from lenses, so the objective, we are not limited in our field of view. Imagine flying above Warsaw and being able to see a single person standing on 1 meter squared area, but at the same time, in just one glimpse, being able to see almost entire Warsaw, like 150 kilometers squared. For comparison, the red square indicates the typical area for such resolution for classical microscopy. Therefore, we can track millions of cells or neurons as here. We can, and this is the part of my study, I am tracking them, I'm calculating some interesting statistics for biologists. So this is the only method that allows pathomorphologists to see the whole mouse brain slice in just one picture without cutting it or splitting it. With lensless, it's not only seeing closer, it's about seeing wider. Thank you.
Last round of question for today.
So thank you for the presentation. The beginning was very good. It explained what the problem is. Maybe, do you know about camera obscura? Do you know what it was?
Yeah.
So basically, there are photo cameras that don't have lenses as well. But the question is, why, you haven't answered, why do we want to see so much at once? We can shoot like thousands of pictures covering whole area of Warsaw or any other city and still get the good resolution. So why do we want to see everything at once?
Two examples I included here are basically the answer for your question, because first thing is the slice of a brain. This is like that big. So with classical microscopy, we would have to take a photo of each region and then try to stitch it, which always brings some errors. but also it's longer. It takes longer time to do such things. So it's very good for fast screening, for example. And the other example is this map of neurons. We can track the signal of. We, for example, apply some signal to the sample we are measuring, and then we are tracking across very wide field of view the answer. So, as I said, migration, we can see how it migrates through very large field of view. That's why seeing wider is very important.
Okay, so that is, you haven't answered that question in your presentation, or at least I've missed it. And I think that this would be crucial to say that we needed a tool that would capture a bigger area in order to capture events that are occurring over a large surface. And that was impossible with lenses. Now with lensless cameras, it is possible to capture the whole situation at once, at a certain moment. So now I understand why you're struggling with that problem, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
I fully confirm that it was not clear from the presentation, those examples, but my question is regarding to the focusing algorithm which you include on the slide. If you can tell something more about that.
There is plenty of the focusing algorithms. The most common one, if you're asking about which one we are particularly using, angular spectrum for single shot, so one frame reconstruction, but then we iterate it with multiple frames with Gerbeck-Saxton algorithms that update some additional information through different iterations.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you very much. Thank you. And congratulations to all of you for coming to this stage, for taking this challenge. And even though, as you see, we try to be as friendly as we could, still it's stressful to be on the stage. So to all of you, regardless of what's happening, is going to happen within the next hour, congratulations to be here, to all of you. Yep. Though, as all of you said, oh, 3 minutes is so short, none of you exceeded the time, and most of you ended like 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds. So in the end, we are 15 minutes ahead of the time in total, which means that now the public vote is open and will be open till 4 o'clock. And we can, I consulted the jury, we can speed up a bit the agenda. So now we let the jury start the coffee break and the discussion, and we ask them to get back here at 4 o'clock for the announcement of the winners. Meanwhile, yeah, keep voting. Keep telling your friends that you can vote. One technical thing, the vote is anonymous, though it requires login. So we don't know who voted, but we know that from one email there was only one vote. So it's anonymous, but on your side you need to confirm you're not voting multiple times. Okay, so let's give the priority to jury as they are short on time. And after them, we can follow to the coffee break. See you at 4 o'clock. Emilia Wdowiak.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Surprise or whatever.
I know my people, you know. Yeah, thank you for all that voted for me.
Yes. Congratulations.
Congrats.
And yeah, and facing the, yeah. Yeah, we need to feed our social media as well. So please stay. And the third place goes to... Okay, sorry. Emeke Chioke.
Congratulations. Congrats, it was a great presentation. Thank you.
I think it's also important.
Okay, we have it, so please. Now the second place. Dum, 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 dum. Aleksandra Godlewska. And dum 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 dum. The first prize. Dum 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 dum. Natalia Mikos-Nuszkiewicz. There, but one with the photographer. You know, I mean, this is all of us separate, individual group, and there is one additional prize, the so-called special prize, and special prize is delivered by our science group.
Yeah, I was granted a chance to hand this prize into someone for someone who I believe that has a great potential to tell the story even better, because you all did a great job. Me being science communicator working in television and in other media, I focus on how you convene your story to the audience, because no matter what you do, the scientific research you're doing is the most important thing to you. This is why you've chosen to investigate it. And there is always a way to talk about what you're doing so that everyone gets excited about it, even if you think that you're doing the most boring thing from the perspective of all the other people. I assure you that you can talk about things in a way that can capture people's hearts. And I believe there was, all the presentations were really great, and the prizes here are not by accident. And all the other presentations which have been presented to us today were also really great, and great respect for all of you spending time to prepare your 3-minute thesis. It's extremely hard for all of us. So you did a great job, and before I announce who this prize goes to, please give big claps to all the people on stage and all those who were here before. So the story, I believe, could be told better, and which could capture people's hearts, and there's only few tunings that need to be done. Is the story by
Antoni Wadowski.
Yes, exactly. Antoni, please welcome to the stage. I will gladly help all of you if you want any consultations about your presentations. I'll be all yours. Congrats. Yeah. Yeah, you deserved it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And I don't know what's the next point of the program.
So now we kind every finalist to come on stage so we can have a beautiful group photo, because again, regardless of the final decision of the jury, you are all in the finale, so congratulations. And yeah, we kindly ask for a great photo.
So maybe these finalists go
Yeah. You need to be in the front so that everyone gets captured on the photo. Yeah, and we'll be standing behind you. So.
Okay, thank you very much. And it seems that's it when it comes to the formal part. So thank you all of you for participation. Now we leave the stage with the stands for individual session in every kind of setup you would like to have. Thank you very much. And as you remember, there are some expectations now. In 2026, FameLab is coming. So, you know, if you need any kind of help, coaching, whatever, reach us. We're happy to help.
Is that all? It's the end? It's really the end? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And congrats again.
Dziękuję.